All right. We rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling, bud.
Sick.
Why are we out here by the boat?
First podcast with sunglasses on.
Feeling good?
Fully outside. We're not on the cusp of the garage. We've slowly migrated out.
Yeah, it's nice.
I
Came
had
out
to
of the cave.
I had to unshovel the boat. Drift boat's going in the river tomorrow. I mean, I do have to like pull it out of here and make sure the wheels are good, but
It'll get there.
I think she'll be good. So,
We'll hook it to the back of the truck. We'll get her there.
yeah, it's nice.
Cool. What's going on, man? What have you been up to?
What's the update? I just got back from vacation.
Where'd you go?
And you wouldn't know it. This morning I was all just like crabby and stressed out.
The cold
I
weather.
fully
made you
checked out
uncomfortable.
on my vacation, dude. It was great. I just was like, nope. Didn't think about anything. But went to Belize with my fiance, and we had ceviche. We did some snorkeling with the sharks, with the
that's
rays,
cool.
with the fish. Had a lot of pina coladas, which are delicious. Dude, they're so good.
That's why you're grouchy, dude. You're coming off of pina colada highs.
Probably, yeah. I should get this. I don't even have a blender in the house. I'll have to go over to the old lady's place and make a pina colada. But fly fished a couple days. Reminded myself that it's super fun, very expensive, and hard.
Yeah.
But
What were you throwing at?
well, I would say permit would be number one for me, and then tarpon. But we fished for a little bit of everything because Sam was there, and she's awesome. She just can't quite boost the mega deep casts that are sometimes required. But yeah, saw some permit right outside the reef, or just inside the reef. Had some shots, had a couple looks, no eats. Day 2, looked for permit again. Didn't really get any shots there, and then it was like, all right, like let's go find something to cast at. So we
Nice.
went and caught some bonefish.
Oh, cool.
And then Sam, we went and looked for some tarpon like in the mangroves, and like these two came swimming out and like along the edge, and she freaking threw it in front of one. He like tracked on it, like back straight at the boat, and freaking ate it. She like hooked him, went busting out of the air, and
Nice.
snapped her off. But it was fun.
Sick.
It was fun.
That's
I mean,
rad.
I feel like saltwater fishing is so, in the fishing industry, like played up as like this, I don't know. Just feels like you always have to like get a permit or like catch a big tarpon. I don't know if it's just me or what, because it's like I've caught a permit and I get it. Like it's kind of like bow hunting elk. Like want to do it at a high level, but then you're just like, yeah, I'm never going to be able to do that.
You got to
gotta
do
be
it
able
too
to
regularly,
enjoy it.
or you got to get lucky.
You just have to do it a lot to
Gotcha.
get good at it, which
That's-
means
Is it like reading the fish?
Either.
Like you learn their habitats, like you learn, or their behavior, like you do with animal or with elk and deer and that.
I feel like permit fishing, like it's all visual and you're all hunting them. So yeah, it's very like, where are they going to be at? Finding them, spotting them, anticipating their movements, like what they're doing, what you should feed them, how fast or slow you should strip it. And it's like you get the one. You know, I've had a bunch of shots. I've fished maybe 7 days now. Let's call it, and like caught one permit.
Nice.
Like had a couple other eats. They're just super finicky and weird. Like they're not like I can go catch bonefish every single day. If there's fish out there, like we're gonna catch them.
Nice.
If there's permit out there, no, we're like I'm not gonna catch them a lot of the days.
do they fight extra good, or like what is so? Is it just because they're so hard that people
I
want
think,
them?
I think they're just like picky to actually eat your fly.
Gotcha.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but
Yeah. 7
seen
days, I'm
enough
pretty
to,
much
like,
an expert.
I've seen enough to want to be an expert. Like it is super fun. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like you got to fly a long ways to do it, and it's expensive. It's like I buy my own boat. Just
So
me and a homie go pull the flats. Like
yeah. So how do you feel about going pulling on some trout tomorrow after going after the big saltwater fish?
tomorrow's gonna be just good fish day with the boys.
Nice.
Like I can do this all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like I think there's less pressure, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you pay for a guide and go fishing and there's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
pressure, this will just be like fun.
Is there a long boat ride down there to get after those fish, or
First day we went an hour.
Really?
Second
Nice.
day we went like 5 minutes.
nice
So
with a flats boat?
Mm-hmm.
Those are so good. I love those boats. I have no reason to own one, but I think those boats are so cool.
Yeah, there will be some saltwater fly fishing films in the Montana wild future. Just TBD on when.
Nice.
And we got to go to California and do the OG Jared Miller.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna go. We're gonna go throw surface ironers at Yellowtail off of 3/4 day boats, dude. It's gonna be a good time.
Dude, I wanna do some spear fishing.
Do
That'd
you?
be sick.
I've got
Snorkeling's fun, but it's like after a while, it's cool to see them. You know, it's like,
bro.
you got to like try to find something different.
Dude, I was watching. I think I told you this dude in I don't know Oahu or whatever. I forget how far, dude. He is so far offshore in this tiny little dinghy Zodiac thing. Him and his buddy. There's all their gear. It was so small. There was no place to sit in there. Just loaded with gear. They're like 50 miles offshore in Oahu, and they shoot a marlin. Shoot a marlin, like, and literally like didn't put a good shot on it, and so it's got like this buoy thing. The thing's swimming. They get back in their little dinghy, and they're like chasing this thing down in their little Zodiac. They eventually get another spear in it or whatever spear gun thing. Dude's like, what? And then they like get this thing into the boat and now they're 50 miles offshore and they have to like back into like, dude, maybe it's not 50, but it was like close to 30. It was far.
It's pretty savage.
It's savage, dude. Like that's a whole nother. Then there's sharks, dude. Like it's a whole nother. Dude, that underwater stuff's wild. Tons of respect for those guys.
The ocean's cool. It's very like similar to what we have with the mountains, just in a obviously drastically different way, but the same feeling applies.
Yeah.
Like it's just like deep out there.
Yeah. And we have grizzly bears. They have sharks. We have grizzly bears.
Yeah.
It's similar.
I get it. I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's financially burdensome.
Oh, man. Yeah. Especially living in Montana when you're that far away from the ocean.
There's ways to get around it. If you're a fish bum, you can figure it out and make it work, but can't be a
having a family is a little tough, dude.
Regular human being. The coexistence of those is not great.
Nice.
But yeah, other updates. We're gonna go fishing tomorrow.
Yep.
Jared's gonna film.
I'm getting a little film and do a little edit.
This is Jared. This will be cool because people will get to see the evolution of Jared Miller's film and photography skill set.
Yeah, it's the slow go.
Jared started from like scratch last year. Like you're a great example case. I know you will be. Maybe not yet, but to be like, Jared did it.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Yeah.
Oh, you just don't want to put the work in. Okay.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing. If I'm doing it, I got a wife, 4 kids, and electrical business.
Yep.
All these young guns they can do it. Just got to work hard.
They can. It's not easy. I was complaining today and being grumpy. Which, you got to let yourself be there once in a while just to...
Yeah. No, this is... and just like
to remind yourself, this isn't a great look for me, but gosh, it feels good right now. What the heck?
This is a good opportunity for a Montana Wild update. We are... we are overworked and underpaid at the moment.
Yeah.
Doing all we can to just get this thing moving. And it's a lot of work. We're doing all the things. There's nobody to assign tasks to.
Yeah, I'm hoping that everything looks like it was really easy in like 2 years' time, but right now there's nothing easy about it.
We had to have a talk about, we have a list that's about this long, and we have enough time to do about this much of it. And it's like, okay, let's force ourselves to get this much done. And it's still, it's tough. Prioritizing the time for what is most important is tough. But
don't get into hunting and fishing, kids. Basically the story there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared's got 4 kids, a wife, electrical business, learning film and photography, helping run Montana Wild, learning how to like fully run a podcast, multi-cameras, editing, photo editing. Oh, you're going to try to do good at a PRS match here soon. Shoot a rifle really good.
Yeah,
be
we
a
want
good
to shoot
hunter.
really good. Yeah. Yeah, we still have to talk about our whole season plans and put in for tags before we miss the deadline and don't put in for anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to plan all these hunts. Got to be a like film director, film producer.
Yep. Fun. These are the times we live for, dude. We're going to be 65 and be like, I wish I was back then again.
The sun's going to, hopefully it doesn't pop on us. That might throw off some of the exposure guys, but first time podcasting outside.
We'll let you talk for a little bit, and I'll go adjust the exposure on everything.
Yeah, no, if you could just get behind the camera, I'll just sit over here and talk by myself. I do. We're going to have to do some solo podcasts just because I think that's good for your personal growth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I listen to Brian Barney's when he goes solo sometimes. Those are some of the good ones.
Brian rips solos all the time.
Yeah, he's good at it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like try and collect your thoughts for more than 30 seconds and make it sound somewhat coherent and keep people interested. Yeah.
The weather. It just feels right.
Feels good.
The thing that's I've found in my fishing career in the last year or two, though, is I don't fish as much as I used to. And I get a lot of these, like, it's going to be good. I'm an optimist when I go fishing.
Nice.
And then I get crushed.
And that's why you don't fish very often.
So this will be my second day of fishing this year. And I got skunked on the first day.
What were you throwing?
Nice check?
Did you nymph at all?
I did actually nymph.
You nymphed and didn't catch anything?
I nymphed little nymphs too for a while, not
Dang.
long. Like
Dang.
I'll go like 2 runs and I'm like,
Yeah.
back to the streamer.
No whitefish or anything?
No.
Oh.
I was in the water I wanted to fish was terrible clarity. I literally waded across the river and threw it in one hole and was like, nope, you're an idiot. Like, go to clear water.
Yeah.
And then clear water wasn't good.
Still wasn't good.
Which I don't ever fish those areas. I didn't even see a fish or even get a bite. So I don't even know. Either the fishing was way off or there were no fish there. I know I'm not like total trash. I'm not a trout bum. There's definitely people now that like, oh man, you just go on like the Buck Nasty Browns hashtag, and I'm like, dude, I just have caught baby fish my whole life.
People are just catching giants constantly.
Yeah, dude, there's like college kids in Bozeman that are just like Jed Wood for hunting.
Yeah.
Imagine that for fishing at like MSU.
Oh, yeah.
The sad thing is I didn't even fish or hunt when I came to school in Bozeman.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I had to go to Missoula.
Ski bum, dude.
Oh, what's the update with you? You're going on vacation soon.
Well, yeah, end of the month. Well, we got the PRS match that we're both shooting first. That we're trying to.
I
with
know.
Everything else we have going.
I figured we'd hit check vacation off.
Okay, I'll jump straight to vacation. Yeah. So after that, then we're going to. Whole family's going to Moab. I've never been down there before, but we're gonna go do some camping.
Are you just staying at just one campsite or different campsites?
We just booked one, and we got a nice little one, kind of on the north end of town, or right at the north end of town. There's a pool, jacuzzi, kids could ride their bikes, and with our youngest is coming up on a year, when it's sometime in April.
I wasn't sure if you were going full feral and just like straight up camp where you park end of the day.
I thought we would do that if we didn't have the young one. The 1-year-old is he's not, they can't talk yet, but he's like wants to be mobile, and it's like once they start communicating, they can tell you how they feel. Then it's a little bit easier because like you can work with them a little bit. But right now he knows what he wants. He can't tell us what it is. He wants to move around, but he needs a nap. So we're just going to do one place.
Yeah.
We're going to do some hikes. We got a list of good hikes we can do. I'm going to bring my TW200. Throw that on the front so I can go out in the morning. I'm really excited to go photograph some new stuff, which there's a bunch of cool stuff within a few miles around, so I can get up and go get that golden hour.
Yeah.
Excited for that. I think we'll go down there for 7 to 10 days, depending on how the kids do.
Are you taking the pack mule?
Taking the pack mule for sure. Dude, I wish I had the moto can, because I have a decent moto carrier, but the moto pack mule would be sick. Because I have hitch on front and back, so I'll have the pack mule on the back with a cooler, and then I'll have a hitch carrier on the front for my TW. We were talking about bringing a trailer, but it's just way easier not to have it. So I got front and back racks, and then just go and hang out in Moab. We've never been before, so I've heard really good things about the desert down there. So looking forward to that. The Colorado River's right there. I grew up on the Colorado River down in Arizona, Nevada, California.
Yeah.
And, that's like, it's way slow. That's with all the reservoirs, Havasu and whatever, Mojave, all those reservoirs. But I grew up going on the Colorado River. So it's kind of cool because I'm pretty sure it's the Colorado that runs right through Moab there, which I'm kind of stoked to be at like the upper end of it, and just kind of nostalgic, even though I've never been there before, but just like have a thing with that river. So
Sick.
Pretty cool.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. We're just talking about probably rent a lens, get a big long lens for some.
A little compression.
Yeah, get a little compression for the, what's it called? My brain doesn't even work when you take landscape photography. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to try that out.
Jared's going to have some bangers.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so you're going to film tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do we think the final output of this thing is?
What the film's going to be?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of fishing dependent, probably a little bit, but
of
it
the little edit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like, so the first thing,
public accountability.
What the edit is going to be?
Because we haven't decided on any of this stuff yet,
Yeah.
so
well,
you'll get an insight into the process.
My first vision was like the early morning startup. Like, I don't know if we're leaving early or not, but when we were going to drive far, my vision was like the early morning startup, the truck, stop by the coffee shop on the way in, right? And then straight into like action, pretty quickly into action. This one, now that we're going to be fishing off the boat, I almost want to put a long lens on and get like you're going to be, what kind of fishing are you going to be doing?
Streamer fishing.
Oh, streamer fishing.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was thinking it would be sick if if it started with like a take and then like rewinded.
I wish they were eating dries.
I know. I didn't know what type of fishing
we might be able to, you'll definitely fly the drone.
Oh yeah.
And we can fish white. You might be able to get like
cool.
a top down.
Dude, that'd be sick. I was just thinking like that, like I want to be like fishing videos. I don't know why the hell people watch fishing or hunting videos, if I'm being honest, dude. It's just like guys whispering to each other. It's super quiet. And then it's like half a second of a shot and then it's over with, right? So it's like if like the little sizzle could just start with action, that'd be sick. If you fish white and it could just be like a flash or something to like set off the video and then just good times on the boat, I think.
We need some tight slow-mos of like streamers like going into like little spots. Like under a tree right behind a rock.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to just I got chest rig for the little DJI Osmo.
Nice.
We can put it on the oar.
I like that.
We got all kinds of mount options.
Heck yeah. I like it.
We'll brainstorm the shot list after we get done with this podcast.
It's a good thing I'm not fishing because there'd be a lot of me untying my knots that when I freaking throw it like that, get the knots up.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And I'd probably be nymphing. I would get bored of...
You're going to get back to it.
Dude, I would get bored of throwing streamers really quick, and I would throw a nymph, like a double nymph rig on very quickly.
I mean, it's not that we wouldn't potentially nymph, but I don't like to have to.
Dude, I just want to catch fish, and so it's like, I don't even care if they're big or not. So I'll just I'm kind of like the way that I hunt elk. Like I'll take little ones. It doesn't matter to me.
We got a plane flying over into Los Angeles.
Dude, I bet this sound's going to be awesome because I was listening to the audio from down in Western Hunt Expo. I think we're getting pretty good at this like sound engineering thing. We'll see if you can even hear the plane or not.
Yeah, they probably won't. It sounds loud to us though.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna shoot a PRS match.
Yep.
Jared.
Yep. I'm
explain
excited.
to the folks what just PRS is because they probably don't know.
Oh, these guys know. We got educated
I
viewers,
know, but I think there's some that don't really know. I still don't even know.
Yeah, Precision Rifle Series. It's the biggest league in the world, I think, just of precision rifle matches. It's heavy guns, like people make fun of it, call it bench rest barricade. The guns are not super practical for a hunter or if you're in a tactical environment like a military or law enforcement. But what it does do, like there's been a lot of progression in the last 10 years with precision rifle, figuring out what works and what doesn't, or like support bags, the tripods, the calibers even. Man, there's been so much progression. So in reality, the best shooters on this planet are made in the precision rifle series. It's not, unfortunately, I'm not saying snipers, and I'm not saying like the guys in the military and law enforcement are doing totally different things, but as pure shooting, best shooters on the planet have come out of the precision rifle series. And, that's where it's really a test of your actual shooting skill, your marksmanship, your ability to call wind, have dope dialed, think very quickly on the clock, move and be efficient with, transitions of target acquisition, building new positions. So it's really fun. It's doesn't directly apply what we do when we're hunting, but as far as just building pure marksmanship, it's my favorite. It's my favorite discipline to just get better at shooting, and that's why we don't get to shoot enough of them every year.
Yeah.
But this is one of the best matches. This is the number one best match I've ever shot that we're going to. It's a Snake River PRS match. It's Seth Howard and Brian Neese, I believe, are the match directors. The most creative course of fire. They have super sick terrain. One of the stages, they literally rappel off a cliff and rotohammer targets into the side of the cliff. But it's I'm really excited for it.
I'm like, why isn't it sold out?
Dude, guys are
like, what?
NRL Hunter has got such a, which I'm stoked that people are shooting matches, but NRL Hunter has such a following. I think that people are gravitating towards that. There's less, in reality, there's less unknown going to an NRL Hunter match because there's 3 stage types. You go to a PRS match, man, there's like, you have no idea. There's gonna be 8-round stages, there's gonna be 12-round stages, there could be 14-round stages, there could be targets from 100 yards to 1,400 yards. The engagement orders out of control, like the number. There's how many stages where there either 10 or 12 positions, and sometimes it was the same target, sometimes you're alternating targets every other position for 10 positions. Yeah, it was pretty. It's awesome. It's going to challenge the wind. You shoot in a full 360, so the wind's going to challenge you. It's March, so you never know what the weather's going to be. That could challenge you. The mental side was the most challenging part, I felt like, at that match, because there was such different engagement order on targets. You'd go 1-2, 1-2, 1-4, 1-4. There were it was wildly different.
It's so to kind of like back up. I think the PRS is definitely just like the best group of people who can like precisely place a bullet downrange at 400 to 1,400 yard ranges. You know, like whatever the end application is, when it comes to just literally manipulating the firearm and putting a bullet right on target, like it has to be the highest level, like
in any position as well.
Yes.
Not off a bench or prone, but from any position.
So that's cool to go. Like for me, I don't shoot it because I necessarily like enjoy the series or the match or whatever. It's just like it's a way to like really become proficient with your firearm.
Yep.
The time limits are short, the movement, the mental. I'd say like the mental part of PRS, you almost get like a better like mental workout shooting a PRS match than an NRL Hunter match.
100%.
NRL Hunter match, it's like the range. It's more of like I use my whole system a little bit more in a time frame and make sure it works. But like PRS is like your mental like precision and focus has to be ultra dialed.
Yep.
Which, that definitely applies to hunting.
Yeah, it definitely applies to hunting, and it. I feel like the PRS makes the best shooters on the planet, and then those shooters then go out from there and then dominate these other disciplines within a precision rifle community, right? Like Matt Allen and John Pinch, they got really good at shooting in the PRS, and then they go dominate in NRL Hunter. Their shooting ability is top notch. They also have there's other skills that you're using a little more in NRL Hunter. But for sure, the PRS is like that whole mental side. I like it. And it's a problem solving. I like the creativity of when and Brian and Seth. They don't give you a lot of rules that they don't prevent you from doing stuff. They kind of let you do whatever you want. And I think Seth actually said he likes to give you just enough rope to hang yourself.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you want to go up there with 3 shooting bags, 2 backpacks, and 4 tripods, he'll let you do it. But just the nature of the terrain and the way he sets it up, you're likely going to struggle, and you might be better off to just go up there and use pure fundamentals in a single bag and execute good shots.
That's like just one thing that sticks out to me, like as I'm getting ready to like shoot this match, but I have not been shooting at all. Matches in 2 weeks, so I have like a little fast time frame training that I'm going to put myself through. But literally one of the top priorities is literally single bag, single bag, single bag, single bag.
Yep.
Because it's like it's so fast, and the gun is heavy enough for at least what we're shooting, which that's the thing is you can shoot a really heavy gun, which both of us don't really enjoy actually like carrying it and moving it around, but it does help.
Yeah.
Like you pretty much have to single bag stuff.
Yeah.
To get through all the
just
positions,
to get through. Yeah.
You know.
We shot it 2 years ago, so we kind of have an idea, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the same venue. But yeah, if you didn't single bag it, there was no way you're going to get all your rounds off on most of the stages. I would say I don't know if I tripod reared a single stage in that match.
Yeah.
I can't remember a single stage. There was the PRS barricade. I shot that with a single bag, and then everything else was natural terrain. And I'm pretty sure I single bagged everything.
I got to practice my in-scope holdovers too.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about that.
100%.
I do like that when you have to do that.
I do too. You dial in. That's what I did some training Sunday. Whatever I talked to you, I was driving out there. I just did some holdover stages where the nature of these stages that they run, a lot of times there's just not enough time to dial every single target because you only engage a target. You never engage a target more than once in a row, and there's different ranges, so you're dialing back and forth, and you would just run out of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you dial either. A lot of times I'll dial the small target and then hold over on the bigger target, over or under, or sometimes I'll dial if there's 3, I'll dial the middle, hold a little under on the close one, a little over on the far one, and that's what. Again, back to the problem solving like a puzzle. It's kind of fun every stage, and everybody's got their idea. And then you told me yours. I was like, that's a terrible idea.
That's the other thing is like, dude, you can't not watch and sometimes take something that someone's done and be like, oh, I like that. But like the more you can just be your own shooter, like you know what you're good at and just tackle it the way that you think is best, like I feel like that's your max ultimate benefit.
100%. Like trusting your intuition. And that's even if it doesn't work, like if you see something, I always advise, like if you see like somebody do some new technique, like go practice that at home, but use your intuition on the clock. When it matters at the match, just use your gut, whatever your hunch is. But yeah, at the same time, there's definitely guys within the PRS, so the guys come up with some crazy ideas, and we're all benefiting from it. Hunters as well. It's the competition is really what progresses this sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it, just the skill of shooting a rifle. And a lot of that, I say it all the time, but like center fire rifles have been around for maybe 170 or 180 years. It's not that long that they've been around.
Yeah.
And just the nature of our just as hunters primarily, we're very traditional in our ways, right? When we run, like I grew up with a pre-64 Model 70. I've said it a bunch of times. And so we're slow to progress. Well, what the PRS and this competition has done, all of a sudden it's like, hey, like all these ways I was taught to shoot as a kid or in the military, they don't work very well. And people have just tried wild stuff. And like the Game Changer bag, that literally changed the whole way people approach shooting stages. And there's all types of other crazy stuff where guys used to, like MPA had I think it was called a rat mount or something, but they had like these on a barricade, they would try and lock the gun. There was like this adjustable, what the heck did they call it? Barricade stop. And they try and lock the gun onto a barricade and shoot the stage, and it just like vibrates wildly and you don't see anything. Or it's like, but what's so cool about it is like people tried all this crazy stuff, like the Uno bag, like looked like a giant. People just tried crazy stuff to see what worked. And what's come now, like I think PRS really got going in 2012, but what's come now is like we now have all these techniques that are vastly superior to where we started in whatever 2000, 2010, even 5 years ago, how much better the equipment and the techniques are, you know?
Yeah. Makes my brain hurt thinking about having to shoot the match.
Dude, it's definitely exhausting.
Like, that's about enough of that, Jared. All right. What else?
For sure. For sure, man. It's exhausting. That's what we did.
I just have to just try to find a way to just drift into flow state and just stay there, not think too hard. And then
For sure. We did get a closer Airbnb this time, so we don't have to drive so far to the range, because it is like mentally, when you shoot these matches, it's wild how mentally you get mentally taxed. And like maybe like even like the heavy rifles, one thing I noticed is like in the beginning of the day, it's all fine, like moving around, but you get fatigued. Your body gets fatigued, and then your mind gets fatigued, and you start making these mistakes at the end of the day, and it's hard to like say, hey, it was because of this reason, but I think it's a culmination, accumulation of different things that you're fatiguing yourself mentally, physically, the food, right? Like you have to make sure you're eating food, and you have to make sure you're drinking water, and it's a whole combination. It's this whole plan. And it's like it is similar to hunting because you're having to take care of all the same stuff when you're out hunting. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't get to shoot enough PRS, so I'm stoked.
haven't decided if I want the weather to be really hard because that helps me. I think are really nice. I hope the wind blows though.
Yeah,
I do hope the wind blows.
Yeah, I hope it's warm wind. I'd be stoked if it's warm wind. If it's cold wind, it'll be. It does give us a benefit because we're very comfortable in crappy conditions, but then we don't. It's definitely not as nice for sure. Be standing outside all day.
So yeah, that's that. That's coming up. If you're gonna, follow along with us for the next couple of months before hunting season gets here, it's fishing. We got the Mexico Coos deer hunt.
Oh yeah,
getting edited right now, which that'll be like mid-April. Rifle stuff, fishing. We're planning our year and doing all the conversations on how to help, facilitate filming at a high level.
Yep.
For a considerable amount of time. That's not easy. Easier to go make the films than it is to
that's for
orchestrate them.
That's for sure.
But we'll be doing 2 big bear hunts. I'm going to Idaho with 4 tags.
I'm so excited for
We're
that.
still TBD on what that exactly looks like, but that's going to be fun.
I've got a thing for
We need
bears.
pack rafts. If anyone knows a pack raft hookup,
That'd be great.
even if we just borrow them, hit us up.
Yeah.
We probably can handle it, but I always like to see if someone out there just is dying to have their pack raft used like a savage.
We mostly crossing, yeah.
Yeah, just across the river.
Yeah,
we could potentially hike areas and like scout it
Yeah.
where you could float out.
Nice. That could be cool.
There's some pretty. I'm very interested to know what the snow level is going to be like because there's some very There's like 20 different ways to hunt our area. And I think that's kind of going to be part of it. Is like you're just going in and figuring it out.
Yeah.
So it'll be sick.
I like those type of hunts where there's not like kind of like a general idea of what we're gonna do, but once you get in there, you just play it by ear.
For a rifle, what are you going to bring for a rifle? Not to get too in the weeds on rifles again, but I'm just curious.
Probably it might be my 284 just because that's going to be put together
300 Norma.
I could bring the Norma. It's just
the Norma and the 28.
I'm just my only issue is that's what I need to shoot for the NRL Hunter match in Belt.
Oh.
And it's like right back to back.
Yeah, that's fine. What are the 284s?
The 162 ELDMs. That's what you shot that elk with, dude. Freaking.
Yeah,
it
does bring that.
It
Zach
does
approves.
work, dude. It does work. It does a good job.
I broke Jared's 284 and for him on hunting.
That was the first kill on that thing.
Yep.
Dude. That was a good. That was worthy.
It was an honorable first kill for the gun because Jared found the bull and I did good service.
Yeah.
And went in there
on a good bull too.
Yep.
The beautiful bull. I was
snuck one in the gap.
Dude, I was so pumped. That was so fun watching that bull all day. It was like
the stock was, we did good.
It was really
We hit all our marks. We worked our way up in there and found them and crawled in.
Well, we got it. I told you that it was going to be sub 600, I think. And we got the sub 600 and there was no shooting lane. And so then we got the 500 and then 400 and then 300. And we just kept working up that ridge, and we finally got a little shooting lane.
Yeah.
And it was cold, and it was deep snow.
The way he was bedded, like, he was across a little coulee, but further down the ridge, like, you couldn't get an angle at him. You had to be even with him, and then to come into the coulee to see it was like...
Oh, dude.
What was it, like a couple hundred yards?
It was 240. It was 240, because we were at 260. I remember being at 260, and we pulled out the Kestrel, and then ranged 20 yards forward to where you're going to crawl to, because where I stayed, we still didn't have a great line on them, and the snow was deep. You were crawling in deep snow, super cold, and you dialed it for 240, and you just crawled up, and there was like a down tree. You crawled under a tree.
Yeah.
You thought about waiting for him to stand. And and then
dude, it was too cold.
know,
I laid there and he was like bedded, and I kind of had a few branches, and I was like, I don't know, like maybe I'll just like wait. It's getting later in the day. Like maybe he'll just stand up and I won't have to worry too much. And I'll hammer him. And then it was maybe like 5 minutes in. Rap. Silverado just went raging by. Not sure if you'll pick it up. But yeah, then I started getting so cold. I was like, I need to shoot this bull now. Otherwise, like, I'm going to be just jackknifing over here and dead. And yeah, I was like, man, I bet my bullet will just go right through this gap. And I just like laced him perfect.
So perfect.
Which at that distance, you're like, okay, like it's 240 yards. Like I should be able to drop this in a 3-inch circle, no problem over there. You know, like I'm prone.
Yeah.
Like
you're prone, but you're still like laying in deep snow. And the wind was ripping right in our face. I do remember that. Wind was straight in our face, but the sun was also in our face. So we were a little bit cautious that he might pick something up.
Yeah.
And
he did get a little like right before I killed him, he did kind of like his demeanor shifted.
Dude, like his ears turned.
He just like there just was something.
Yeah.
He just had that little.
Yeah.
He had to have subtly seen something in his like peripheral
For sure.
because he wouldn't have, I don't think, heard anything.
Yeah.
And he died.
Yeah, that was quick. That was a 162 ELDM, perfect shot. I'm pretty sure we recovered that bullet. I can't remember how much it weighed, but it did. Yeah, it was perfect. He got up out of his bed, ran about 30 yards, laid over and died.
And he was dude. It was awesome because he fell over and just stayed there.
Yeah.
In like a nice spot for us to cut him up. He could have crashed down into like the downfall. And
it would have been really bad if he fell down into that bottom down there because it was rocky, steep, and a bunch of deadfall. And if he went down in there, it would have been a rough job cutting him up.
We should go through the age report.
Oh yeah.
So that bull, I don't remember what that bull actually age was.
I think he was 10.
Was he like? He was pretty old.
I think he was 10 because Trav's bull that same year was 12. I think.
Yeah, Travis's bull was old that year.
Yeah, Trav's was 12, and then I think yours was 10, and
It was like 9 or 10.
I think Sam's was 8 or 9. Yours was 10. There might have been 2 years between each one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you can send your teeth in to get him like aged, like they cut him open, look him at him with a microscope. Like, as far as I know, the best way to actually know what the age of an animal is. So I always send teeth in. My bull from 23 that I killed with my bow, he was 4, which he wasn't that big. He was a baby giant. I figured he was young, so that was on par. Then the buck that I killed with you with my bow,
Yep.
that one was 4,
No way.
which I figured for sure less than 5.
Dude, yeah, I would have.
Because he was just thin and
Yeah.
like, I would have guessed, I think I guessed 4 or 5,
Yeah.
I think was what I thought.
Interesting. I would have guessed 3, just like,
Yeah.
because like good shape frame, but yeah, that's cool.
And then my bull last year.
24?
Yep.
Which one? You shot 2.
In Montana.
Montana.
So
bull.
my archery bull, I forget, he was like upper 320s, I want to say, like
Yep.
good 6, but not the herd bull.
Yep.
He was 6.
Oh, nice.
So he probably was never going to be a giant, which is good to think about. This is why I age him, is like to try to figure out like where's this bull at, like what is the progression of the species in this area, because like I always want to shoot old animals. Generally, a 10-year-old bull elk doesn't suck.
Dude. No.
It might not be a 400-inch bull,
Yeah.
but it's going to be cool.
Pretty dang cool.
Same
bull,
with deer,
dude.
same with whatever. So it's like, that's the ultimate goal. My bull in Wyoming, a little smaller. He was 5. I thought he would have been older.
I thought he would have been older, just
Honestly.
like by the looks of him, but
Yeah. But that makes sense. Sam's buck, 4.
no way.
So that's the difference.
Wow.
Of just genetics
Yeah.
and probably feed.
Yeah.
But her buck was 178.
Yep.
And my archery buck that was 4 was what, 143 or something?
Yeah.
Or 137 or
Yeah.
1.
No, it was low 140s, but yeah, that's
so it's
wild.
like 40 inches of difference,
Yeah.
between areas and stuff. I feel like there's a lot of spots in Montana if like there was just less pressure.
Yep.
Or don't hunt them in the rut. Like there'd be some big dogs.
For sure.
Your buck last year in the mountains, 5 years old.
Oh, that's cool.
I think 5 is like the tipping point of like for deer in Montana.
Like as far as they're
5 and up is like
big,
good maturity.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder what the average age of a mule deer buck on the prairie is. 3?
Yeah.
Maybe younger,
Maybe,
2.5.
Yeah. For sure.
It's kind of wild. It's kind of sad. My buck was 6.
No way. Cool.
So he definitely could have got bigger.
Yeah.
It was hard. It's hard to say with the heavy ones. Like how old is
hard
he? He looked young the year before.
That's what's so weird about it, dude. Like, and he lost
I don't
his
know
dropper.
about 5. I would have thought he was 4 the year before.
Dude, just the fact that he lost his dropper from 5 to 6 is kind of wild. Just makes you wonder why. If it was a feed
Yeah,
thing
he had
or-
a dropper. And he had a lot of the same kickers, but he got rid of the dropper. Bigger frame, bigger mass.
Yep. That's pretty cool, dude.
The hilarious thing is like people want to act like they know everything in this world,
Oh,
and
man.
we still don't even understand how that things that grow out of an animal's head. What how?
Yep.
Why? Like we can give them minerals and turn them into mutants and make them big, but like we don't know.
Yeah.
We can't go say like, oh, his rack was big in stickers because of any reason.
Yeah.
And then I aged one of Jordan's sheep teeth, 7.
Oh, cool.
So that's good.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Not a like barely legal ram,
Yeah.
like solid ram
That's rad.
for Montana. So that was cool.
Heck yeah. That's exciting news.
So that's always cool stuff to think about.
Yeah.
What else? I think Jed's bull was like 10.
Did he? Oh, did you age that
Remember the big one?
Yep.
No, but let me see.
one? I'm pretty sure that yours was 10 and Trav's was 12 that year. I don't remember what year that, 21 or 22 maybe.
9.
Jed's was 9.
Yep. I feel like 7 to 10 is like peak bull rack configuration and like body shape.
Yeah.
So he was right in there.
Trav's bull that was
12. He was,
Dude,
like, you could tell he was like getting old.
he was on the downside of his prime, but man, the body on that thing was so big.
Dude, that bull was cool.
I just remember walking up on that thing where he was laying and just like it looked like a freaking bull, like a moo cow bull, dude.
Yeah.
His body was so big.
Dude, that bull I killed that was 14 and a half. He had the like most giant. We didn't weigh him, but I swear he weighed 1,000 pounds.
Wow.
Like horse.
Wow.
Forest horse.
That's cool.
Moose. Like
That's sick.
Roman knows. That's the only animal that I've ever killed that I wish I would have shoulder mounted.
Yeah. Was it rack big?
I'll never. He just is such a specimen.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
14 and a half years in this thick jungle with grizzlies and lions and
yeah.
wolves, and it's just Narnia.
Which bull was that?
It's like, and you think about it when I killed him, he was one of the early bulls. We filmed him where he comes out in the wallow and I shoot him
yeah.
at like 25
Yeah,
yards
yeah.
or whatever. I like hold my draw for almost 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You just like think about when that bull was born and when you were like, I was probably like a 14-year-old. And like from 14 to when I killed him, that bull just lived there.
That's crazy.
Like straight up savage.
That's honestly really good. And that bull was 14.
Yeah.
It's
14
cool
and
because
up.
people can go back and look on that because it's like,
Which I don't know why they said a half on that one because they always give the elk numbers in like full, but that's what they said.
oh, funny.
I don't know if they get that old.
Yeah.
Something changes, but
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah, that bull was wild.
I'm stoked to like look at our deer too, that they were 5 and 6 because it's like you're always guessing, dude. Like the fact that hers was 4 years old and it was the biggest buck that any of us shot this year.
Yeah.
It's super cool to actually know instead of guessing. Because I've heard a lot of guessing over the years.
What else?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just trying to keep this thing rolling. We're excited about what we're doing. We're working a ton, but yeah, we got the last Montana Wild shootout coming up. I guess that's our last kind of event that we're doing so far at the beginning of the year. So
Yep.
first two went great.
I'm gonna try to shoot the last one.
Are you? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I need to.
Need to shoot one.
Man.
Yeah, we had 58 shooters at the first one, and that's with the blizzard coming through. And then we sold out on the second one. We had 72 shooters signed. A couple of people backed out the day of, so we ended up with 70 actual shooters. And yeah, we're selling a bunch of slots already. So this will go out. I'll probably get this out this week. So if people hear it, I would recommend you sign up and don't call me the week of and tell me you forgot about it, because I want to put on a really good match for the shooters that are signed up and not just let too many people in where it makes the day go slow. So
yeah, I mean, if I was predicting it, it will sell out.
yeah.
So if you want to shoot it, sign up.
Yep.
Because can't have a million people there.
Yep.
As much as we want everyone to shoot, I don't know this even remotely close to what Jared does, but being the match director, I trust them. And no one wants to go play golf with their rifles.
Yeah.
Shoot, go through the stages, have time to
Yep.
reset and get ready for the next one.
Get back to
have
shooting.
A day of it, and
Yeah.
that's the best way to do it.
That's what, yeah. The first one, because the blizzard came through, slowed us down. It kind of turned into a longer day. But man, this last one had 12 more shooters than the last one, and we got through so fast. It went super smooth. Drop the time limits. That always helps, where every shooter doesn't have as long, so it does help the day go faster. And this next one will be a little shorter again. It'll be 2 minutes because it is a PRS regional series qualifier. So we're going to speed up the time. Just adding or reducing the time increases the difficulty naturally. So 2 minute time frames, and yeah, we'll have 8 stages, 80 rounds again. Keep it pretty easy because we will have a lot of new shooters. So try not to go over 10 rounds. Most guys have 10 round mags, and they don't have to worry about getting 12 rounders. But it will be a challenging course of fire for sure. So
Love it. There's something else I had thought about I was going to say, but I forgot about it.
yeah,
We're making some fishing films, people. I know we don't talk about it enough. We don't post about it enough. People know Montana Wild in a big way for the fishing films. Don't worry. They're coming. I just have to remember how to fish first and do the thing, because I haven't made a fishing film in a hot minute. So they're going to be good.
yeah, we're gonna brainstorm for tomorrow.
We're going to brainstorm for tomorrow. I'm thinking, Jared, if Jordan and I can catch some fish, Jared will have a little mini heater. I've got some plans for later in the month for some other content I'm going to build.
Nice.
We got a month or two of fishing, so.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's just you want to go out when it's good. I don't know when it's good anymore. I need to freaking link up with some of these
Not tuned in.
MSU kids who are just like, yeah, dude, so here we're going to go here. There's freaking 23 under this bridge behind that rock. If you throw a crawdad at it in there and give it 2 twitches, old freaking Bob comes out and eats it.
Dude, that's any MSU video editors that are interested in sharing information with Zach so he knows where to go fishing and also helping us edit some films. We'd love to talk to you guys.
They definitely don't need to share information. If they do, it'd be welcomed. But yeah, we do need someone to help edit some video.
Oh, yeah.
We probably will bring back the Montana Wild internship this summer. So if you or anyone you know likes hunting, fishing, editing good video,
Filming,
send them our
shooting
way.
photos, yeah.
One thing that I wanted to mention earlier, now that we're talking about video, will people just please quit putting the kill shot or the 5 seconds right before he pulled the trigger in the first 15 seconds of your film or the first 30 seconds of your film. Like you just showed. The majority of people are wanting to get to that point. Like they're wanting you to tell them the story of how you got to there, and you just showed them like, hey, there you go. Oh, cool. Now I'll just skip to that now that you've already presented it to me and not watch your whole film.
Yep.
Learn. I mean,
Tell
I can't say that we've never teased it or used it, but not every film and very rarely. I try to never do it now. It's like have a story, have a visual hook for them, have something other than we killed something, we promised. Now skip, either maybe watch it or skip forward and watch it.
Oh.
We'll see. That probably won't change, but
yeah, it's the story,
should.
it's the storytelling. Because I definitely, people get caught up in like having pretty visuals and all that stuff, but they miss the storytelling. And it's challenging. That's where I'm like trying to figure that out in my head. Like, how do you tell this story? And what's so funny about what we do is you don't know how the story's going to play out. Like, if you go on YouTube, there's all types of filmmaking and stuff, and it's like you write a script and then you tell the story. But what we do, we don't know what the story. We're like, are we going to catch fish? Like, we still got to be able to tell a story if we don't catch fish. Are we going to find deer that we want to shoot or whatever it is? So that's what's interesting, and I'm trying to challenge myself to figure out a little better on how you tell a story while being adaptable to what ends up happening, instead of trying to like force a situation. Because like what I enjoy so much when we do go fishing or hunting is like the unpredictability. I don't know what's going to happen, and I think, and I've watched this with you. I think there's a diligence to filming everything so that you don't get through all of a sudden, because sometimes you get surprised by stuff. It's like, crap, I didn't get any footage to tell the story how we ended up right here. And so being diligent with the camera and pulling it out anytime that there is a scene change. Like, if we start hiking up this ridge and we get over the other side and I didn't film us going from the glassing point to there, like, I screwed up. So I think that's kind of what I'm figuring it out maybe, and you could tell me more. But
yeah, for hunting stuff, it's like you just always need to be on the ball, because you need to have the lead up to whatever the ultimate like high point of the hunt, which generally is shooting an animal. If you're successful, it's like you want all the pieces. Like, you need to film a lot for it to be good, which means, I'm going to cut like 80% of my footage and never use it. And it makes the edit process longer, but it makes the end piece way better. I bet some of these videos are almost tit for tat, just strip clips strung out into a timeline, and maybe a little modification and
minimal
tweaking, and then that's it. Which, if that's what you're into, that's cool, but I'm just not into that.
Yeah, for the vlog style stuff. But that's not like, and it's very similar. Like, we talk about like writing copy for whatever it is, and you could say the same thing in 5 words, or you can say it in 2 paragraphs. And if you could tell the same story in 5 words by being very concise and clever in the way that you phrase it, versus having to like make people read through it, and people are more likely going to read it. And same thing with this video story.
Dude, it's wild, the lack of creativity in hunting and fishing. I mean, I saw attempts of it at the fly fishing film tour that all failed pretty miserably, in my opinion, of trying to tell some story and be cute with the effects of it and all blah blah blah. But on YouTube, like, the ability for people to interestingly tell a story and film and like visually storytell to you is like, it's insane. Kids are just like they like have a 1-bedroom apartment in Detroit, and they're just like magicians.
100%.
You probably won't get that because the outdoors is so dynamic that like you can just kind of point a camera and like it looks good, so you don't have to think too hard. But like, hopefully there'll be some more like unique creativity in our space.
For sure. There's that term that's really funny. People use it as a joke, but it's true. But like, I'm trying to make stuff cinematic, right? And like, people joke about it. But I watch those guys on YouTube that you're talking about, and they're literally kids in their mom's bedroom, and they're like, dude, they just told me a freaking sick story. It's lit super well, but it's not like their bedroom's cool, but they figured out an angle and lighting or whatever it is to tell you a story and get you interested in like, we can definitely be challenged. I like being out in the mountains out here. I think guys get lazy because it's just like, if you point your camera in that direction, you're going to get a cool mountain. And I don't think that's.
But I mean, the good guys are really smart about it though, visually, because it's like right now lighting's super flat. And we're not going to light anything out in the field. So it's like, how do you make that look good? Instead of just like a medium wide of just gray. Like, probably going to do a bunch of tights and like maybe like silhouette-y, like low angle, wide angle, like, like thinking about like, okay, how does this look visually? Like, I'm presented a problem every day when I'm out hunting and fishing and like filming it, right? Because it's like, I can't just light it to look dope. Like, how do you make it look dope? which is cool because they don't really have that, right? Like maybe if you're a street photographer, you know, like, and you don't ever use a light on your camera, like you kind of have a similar vibe, maybe.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. Like when there is flat light, you can either way overexpose and like just make it, wash it out in white, or you can underexpose it too and just like make it shadowy. And that's like, you can kind of tell a story both ways. Or like to your point with it, you go in close and like on your hat, like everything's like gray monotones, and you have a pop of color there, and you can like use that. And like, again, if it's from back here, it's not very cool, but you get in close, all of a sudden it's super cool. This bright splash of color across the monotone, you know?
Yeah.
But
All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up because Jared and I got a plan for.
yeah, we got to make a heater tomorrow.
Gotta get my fishing stuff together, and then Jared and I are gonna make a little plan.
I'm legitimately more excited to film than have to tie knots tomorrow, because I haven't had to tie knots for a while and fishing line, and so I'm kind of excited to just point cameras.
It's gonna be great.
I'll work hard still, but I just get the point of camera instead of having to do one of these things.
All right, well, hopefully you see some hot fire Jared Miller Cinema Productions
Coming soon. In 6 days to 6 weeks, somewhere between that time frame. All right.